It's time for the 10 challenge. It's IdoNotes episode 139. We're back. We're looking at the Q10 versus the Z10. It's just our opinion. Welcome, everybody. It's an IdoNotes podcast. We're going to throw this in the IdoNotes stream, even though it could be a little bit of BlackBerry today, but it's more of a personal opinion. So I've been asked a lot. I've gotten emails at conferences, at events, at work, on the street. Which one do you prefer? Would it be the Z10 or the Q10? Let's do it. So here we have it. First things first, let's talk about the actual size of the devices themselves, and then we can get into the particulars. Definitely, as you can see, there is a height advantage for the Z10. Ooh, let me line them up and be more official. Z10 has a definite height advantage looking at the screen. You can see that there's more real estate there as well. In terms of width, pretty much identical. In terms of port access, we'll take a look. On the side, they both have the ports. They're just a little bit different place. On the right side, they both have the same rocker set. They both have the power and the headphone jack on the top, and they both have the speaker jacks on the bottom. So in terms of the layout, pretty similar. What's the biggest difference besides screen real estate? Well, you know, it's the keyboard. That's the biggest part of the difference between them. For those that beg for the BlackBerry Keyboard, the Q10 has it. It's great. It's responsive. It works perfectly. Drives me nuts. Why? After so many years of using the Torch 2, Storm 2, and all the other touch devices, we're not going to talk about if they're good or bad, but I've gotten so accustomed to using a touchscreen keyboard that, let me show you. For example, you hold the phone. Difference with this one is there's no landscape mode. It's always portrait mode. And when you hold the phone, so you can use the keyboard and do your thumb typing, as you can see, and I'm looking to make sure you see it, this drives me nuts. I can't do it anymore. I'll show you why. Let's switch, shall we? So you could do the keyboard same way on the Z10, but I always type like this. I have more real estate. My hands never touch. I'm able to do everything I need to do. If you're familiar with the iPhone, you're not going to get that sideways keyboard. Familiar with the HTC, you get the sideways keyboard all the time. You will find that this, to me, was much better on the keyboard usage. For those of you who like to cram your hands together behind the device and type very tiny, the Q10 is for you because that BlackBerry keyboard is awesome and it rocks. What else is different? Screen real estate. I don't even think we have to say it. You can see it side by side. Look at the difference in the real estate of the screen. So if you're watching a movie, there is no landscape mode on this little thing. I don't like that. Pictures, same thing. It's a square. So I'm always taking the same picture, whereas this one I'm getting a nice portrait or a nice landscape mode. Cameras are the same in both for the front and the back. I got the same quality. Low light sucked, but everything else was really good. Great in the real quality. I was impressed with that. I did find it easier to work with on the touchscreen portion of the Z10. So the Q10 does have all this area at the top, and it's touchscreen. So if I swipe, you'll actually see it come on. So it's swipeable just as well as you could with the Z, doing the swiping and everything else. So where do you go from there? The other part that I found is working with applications. For some reason, the ones that relied heavily on touch, it was easier to do on the Z. The message selection alone on the Q10 would drive me crazy because if you want to do multi-select, remember it's not there yet in the 10 OS, you actually have to use your hands and select every single message and then hit the delete button. Well, I can only select like 4 at a time or 5 at a time, and then I had to scroll. 4 or 5 at a time. Then I had to scroll. On the Z10, on here, I could select a whole page of messages, maybe 7 or 8 or 9, but it was just much easier to manipulate and work with. The same swipe control is there for both. What we'll do is we'll go ahead and look at the Z10 screen. As you can see, it's the normal, but it's all touch, right? But the same touch control was there. If I go up and over, I can get to my mail file. So that's the same on both devices. None of that's different. The only difference is working with the keyboard part. I also found typing issues. And that's probably because the keyboard to me was just in my way all the time. But I found if I made a mistake there, touching the screen on the smaller Q10 device to fix it was harder than when this one was typing in landscape mode. In the Z10, I had more ability to reach it. So that's the other big piece. Applications otherwise, they're the same for both. Half the darn applications you want still aren't there, which baffles me that they wouldn't be there for this, mainly when you promote some of the new product stuff. Otherwise, that's it. The cases, you can get those. We've reviewed plenty here at Spike Studio. You can see those online. You can subscribe to the playlist for ones like that. But Spike Studio is going to say, overall, from our reviews, testing, playing, both devices, they both have micro SD too. I didn't say that, but they're both the same there. We like the Z10. So the Q10, we will sunset quietly and peacefully. The Z10 is the choice between the two. Let us know your thoughts. Put them in the comments. Leave us a feedback. Send us a note, whatever it is. We're not going to fight about whether BlackBerry is good or not. It's not the conversation. It's which is better between the Q10 and the Z10. When the A comes out and some of the other ones, we'll look at those. Like A5, A10, we'll look at those. But for now, Z10 is our device of choice. Thanks for watching, everybody. Make sure you subscribe to the playlist, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and let us know what you think.